So today we're heading to AM41. It's a wonderful garage that makes all sorts of car modifications if you want to live off the grid, survive out in the desert, and I can't wait to check this out. So let's go. So we've made it to AM41. This is the garage, the place to be if you want to get your car suited for living off the grid, surviving out in the desert, or surviving a zombie apocalypse. This is the place to be. So we finally got the van in the AM41 garage. So let's take a look inside and see what the problems are and where we can find some solutions and upgrades to this. So we're gonna open the van door. And this is what we're working with here. Now, it does look nice visually on the outside, but on the inside, there's a lot of problems. Let me run you through this right here first. So there used to be an old shelf system here, but somewhere along the line, when bringing this car through the borders in the middle of a war in Lebanon, through Syria and Saudi Arabia, I don't know which border it happened exactly, but they kind of broke this off and threw it away. It was a little kitchenette. It wasn't anything too fancy. Definitely not like the beautiful ones that we've seen here at AM41. So I'm sure Mazen has some solutions for us when it comes to this drawer system. Now, if you come a little closer, I'll show you. So this cushion actually gets taken off. And then what we have here is some added storage. And here is usually where the battery system would go and the kitchenette will come here. I'm gonna jump inside and I'm gonna show you. It fits a lot of people. It fits like 6 or 9 people comfortably. You can sit on this side. You can also sit over here, of course. This is a cool bench because it's got storage down under here, which also fits a lot of things. Now I've got my lawn chair and some emergency equipment in there. And this actually folds out just like this into a bed. So I can chill back here, sleep if I wanted to. It's quite comfortable. Now, like I said, this is quite cool, and it's a little bit practical for, chilling on the road a little bit, maybe doing a small camp somewhere. But obviously, it doesn't have a kitchen, it doesn't have a water supply or batteries or anything like that. It's quite basic. So we're gonna see what AM41 suggests that we do. What are some great upgrades that we can do over here? So let's speak to Mazen and find out. Hey Mazen, how's it going? So we finally got the van in the stop?
Yes, finally.
So let's run through it, man. What are some upgrades you think that we could do? Starting with maybe this broken bench system that we have.
Okay, so the way we usually like to handle our project is we check what are your needs for the car, and then we work from there because not everyone has the same necessities. So walk me through what you're going to be using it for. I have a basic idea, but let's go over the details.
So sure. So what I would love to have is some sort of kitchen here. This used to be a drawer. This used to come out till just about here, and it had a little kitchenette, which was nice, but it was a little bit too close to the van. If you cook, the smell would go inside and things like that. And of course, it was made out of wood that isn't very sturdy. So I think having some sort of pull-out kitchen that can maybe extend further than this and, can cook a meal with my friends or have the chef come on, show us a recipe and things like that, that would be awesome.
So what I think, like you said, yes, the wood is nice, it's easy and light, but they showed that it doesn't last that long, especially in high humidity, unlike if you're camping at the beach or you're doing something like that, it doesn't sound ideal. So we can change the system to some sort of aluminum kitchen. We'll have a dry go out as far as you want. We can go perfectly around here. Nice, couple of meter and a half. So what usually we do in the kitchens, we have the actual place to put your stove, either fixed or portable stove. We have a place to do all the cutting, to do all the preparation. So when we add the sink, we also need somewhere to get the water. You need a small water supply. We don't want to a lot, way too much, unless you have really long trips. We usually go for somewhere between 60 to 100 liters. So we can just put the small water tank along this on this area. This way you can just have a reliable water source, of course, with a pump, because you're gonna need some decent cleaning.
That's great.
Usually when you have a water tank as well, we will put some outlets from either side if you want to just, you're at the beach, you're feeling your hands, or you want to cook, use it for cooking or cleaning, just for general purposes.
Right.
So for the kitchen, anything else you would want to do specifically, you're probably gonna need some place to store your food. So you're gonna need some sort of fridge. So I don't know how many days you're planning on being out, so we can size the fridge accordingly.
Fridge would be nice. Let's have a look at where we can place that. So you mentioned the fridge.
Yes.
So where do you see us placing this, and what kind of fridge is suitable for a van like this?
So for a van like this, you have just a couple of issues. Mainly, you don't have a lot of power, so you can't put a really big fridge, and you don't have a lot of space if you're considering you're going to be sleeping in this or you're going to be putting your store. So a reasonable size will be somewhere between 35, 25, 45 liters, depending on what you need and how many days you're going to be using the van.
Okay.
So I think we usually, with the fridges we use are Dometic fridges. So we have a couple of other brands, but for your case, I think Dometic would be a nice solution. So let's put the fridge in and see where we can fit this in.
Sure, let's do it.
To place the fridge, I think a good reasonable place to put it is somewhere over here. This way you can still use your draw-out bed. It won't interfere with anything. And at the same time, we can have a certain workstation. We can have a place to eat, place to do a bit of your work. So we have a table over here, and the fridge can be either sliding out or it can just open all the way direct on top of this.
Nice.
And this way also you maintain the access to the storage area that's going to contain the kitchen over here. And also we can keep a bit of room for a power station to give you power, because your car doesn't have that much power. So we have place a power station close to the switch to be able to give you easy access without much wiring and short.
Great. So you mentioned the kitchen will be here, but this is also a good spot to put the battery supply, right?
Yes. So as this is right now, more or less, so you're gonna have this area is gonna be ground to the kitchen. That area in the end you can keep it for a bit of the electricals and the mechanicals. So we have enough place to put the power station. The water tank, well, I did recommend to put it somewhere around here. So you have also the pump, all the piping, everything you need to not necessarily access, but you just need it for for maintenance. So you can keep everything hidden in that corner.
All right. And the pump and the electrical system will be running on a portable battery.
Usually we keep a fixed secondary battery, but because you don't have that much power to feed it, and I don't think it would be to look very nice to put the solar panel on top. So yeah, a secondary portable battery would be something very useful in this case.
Great. So for the battery source, the source of power, what would you recommend for the van?
So these come in a lot of sizes. We will size it according to what we actually end up putting in the car. Something like this, the River 2 Pro, will be something very useful for you.
Nice.
So the good thing about it, it comes as an all-in-one solution. So you have your AC output, you have your DC output with the USBs or 12 volt if you want to put just some general lighting or for the water pump or something like this. And in case we end up going with some solar solutions, we also have a place to put it to solar.
Wow.
So yeah, and some of the bigger batteries you can charge them directly from your alternator if you have a strong enough alternator. But yeah, and the good thing about this, it charges directly within an hour. So before you leave for your trip, you just plug it in. Within less than an hour, it should be fully charged.
Wow. And how much output does this put out?
This is a bit of a tricky question because it will depend on what your actual consumption is. If you're drawing everything out of it, it won't. It'll last a couple of hours maybe. If you're just charging your phone, the pump when it's on, the fridge if it's already cold, it won't draw that much power. And especially with the fridges we have, like the EcoFlow fridge or the Dometic fridge, they don't take that much power if they're already cold. If you put some hot stuff inside, keep on opening and closing, for sure it's gonna draw a bit more. But this should last you for a trip, especially if you connect it to solar.
Great. Well, that's a lot of power in a small, compact box.
Good thing about it, it comes in a lot of different sizes. So if this one is a bit too small, we can go for the Delta series, which is a bit bigger. If this is what I think would be a decent solution, it would be very good for this type of.
And it looks like it'll fit neatly into the system.
So it's very nice.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. So it looks like we're all set with what we're planning to do with the van here.
Yeah, and of course we do everything here is sustainably fabricated. So if you have anything not necessarily standard, like not just a water tank, just a place to sit, a table, something like this, have something a bit weird if you want. For example, we can put something in the roof, for example, a place to hang your guitar or something like that. And we can customize usually out of these fabricated stuff.
That will be cool. I'll keep that in mind. I might take you up on that later on. You never know when the guitar will come in. Just pull it out. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Let's jump in. I've got a cool podcast that we can get started on. Some great questions to ask you. And I just would love to hear your opinion about car mods in general and the future of this. Let's go. Let's have a chat.